Welcome to qnawire.
So now we have someone who's jumping from a building. And if you jump out of the window down here, she's hitting a net, which will stretch down. And this height she's jumping from is 15 meters. And the net stretches 1 meter. And we want to know her the acceleration when she hits the net. And so to do this, I first want to know my velocity when she hits the net, and that'll let me solve for the acceleration. So first of all, we know our vertical displacement when she jumps is going to be negative 15 meters because she's going down, and I'm going to say this direction is the positive y. We also know our initial velocity is 0 because she's just standing and then jumping, right? Final velocity we want to know, and we also know acceleration on Earth is minus g. And we want to use an equation that will solve for velocity, for final velocity. So we'll use this one. Vf squared is v initial squared plus 2a delta y. And so our Vf squared, we can just plug in, we have everything we need. This is going to be 0 squared plus 2 times minus 9.8, and this is minus 15. So Vf squared is 294, and square root of that we get 17.14 meters per second about. But we know that once she hits the net, she's going to be moving down, so this should be negative, and we can either pick a positive or negative answer here because either one squared is going to get us 294. And now for the second part of this, to get the acceleration, I'm going to redefine our knowns. So our delta y now is going to be negative 1 meter, right? Falling with the net stretching. This final velocity we had in the first part is now going to be our initial velocity for this. And our final velocity, well, she's coming to rest at the bottom of the net. So that's going to be 0. And we're looking for acceleration. And we'll use the same equation here. But now instead of solving for final velocity, we're solving for acceleration. So our final velocity now is 0 this time. Initial velocity, so it really didn't matter if we chose positive or negative, but just want to be consistent with the signs. And our acceleration we're looking for, delta y, is minus 1. So we end up getting, let's see, our A is going to be about 146. Oops, that's not right. 146.89 meters per second squared. And now I get a positive answer because I defined this direction as positive. And so that means that the net is slowing her down, which means the acceleration is in the positive direction, whereas gravity is pulling the other way. But if you define the direction the other way, like when she hit here, she was traveling this way, you get a negative for the acceleration. They're both the same, it just depends on which direction you define as positive. And now the second part is wondering whether you want to stiffen the net or loosen it to make it safer. And you can see this is a really big acceleration, so that's not very safe. So we want to loosen the net so that you have more time to fall, and that will lower your acceleration. And the acceleration, if you get it low enough, it'll be safe. So you want the net to stretch as much as possible. And this also has, it relates to impulse and momentum, if you know about that, but if not, that's okay. But that you can also explain this kind of problem with impulse and momentum as well as just acceleration. But so you want to loosen the net to make it safer, and that will, loosening the net will lower the acceleration, and if you tighten it, then it's like hitting the ground. That's why it's not safe to hit the ground, but if you have a net, then you can survive.